City.
Well, quite possibly one of the most memorable draws in Bristol City history took place in the North East last weekend in front of 1,200 frenzied travelling fans, not least because big moments require big players. Nahki Wells took responsibility deep into injury time, and it brought an end to 469 days since the Robins were last awarded a penalty. It means they are now 11 games unbeaten, but in their way today, Hull City, winless in 3, but led by young, dynamic coach and former Bristol City player, Liam Rossigna. It is the biggest week of the season. Can Bristol City come out on top today ahead of that massive match in the FA Cup on Tuesday evening? Here to watch it alongside me is a man that always delivers in pressure moments. It's Mr. Neil Swift. Neil, a pleasure to have you with us today. Welcome to Robins TV again. What a belting week we have at our fingertips.
It's what you're at the club for, really, at the end of the day, isn't it? I get a draw like that. Everyone's on their toes and waiting with great anticipation towards a game.
It feels like a big battle today. We're a point apart from Hull City in the Championship table. Both still have playoff aspirations. Now it feels like we need to turn some of these points into 3.
It is, but at the end of the day, if the longer you keep your unbeaten run going, it's only going to help us in the league. I don't think they'll be looking at the league tables as of yet. It's just look after this game, move on to the next one, and stay focused on this one. Let's get something out of today's game so we can build on for the Man City game. Yeah,
and we were chatting just off camera just then. The mood after that Sunderland game, it felt as though we were kind of getting to a point where we would be maybe going back to the southwest with no points whatsoever. It must have felt like a win when Nahki Wells grabbed that penalty.
It is. Like you say, first and foremost, getting the penalty was was a shot in the arm. And then to convert the penalty was, that it was like 3 points had been won there, which was good.
Absolutely. And Nahki Wells, he's a man that does deliver in those pressure moments. Double figures for the season for him now. I think it's equalled his best record as a Bristol City player as well. He is leading from the front when he's got that abundance of youthful talent around him as well.
Yeah, totally. I think it's a group decision as well, because Sykesy took a lot of the pressure off of him by picking up the ball. All the abuse was sent to Sykesy, and Nahki walked away and then takes the ball off him, puts it down, puts it in the back of the net. So, even on a penalty, it still comes down to helping each other out, which was a little good ploy.
And it was heartbreak late on earlier on this season at the KCOM Stadium. A goal deep into injury time, Stupinian with the winner for Hull City that day. But if you look at how far Bristol City really have come in terms of holding on to points or narrow leads leading into injury time, I think it's a testament to where we are at this point in the season now, really.
I think you pick up in the atmosphere of the stadium as well. The fans aren't as nervous now getting into the last few minutes of a game, because we're actually seeing results out better and turning it around and actually getting something out of games in the last few minutes of a game. So I think the whole atmosphere, the whole stadium, the fans are happier, players are happier. It's a positive place to be, full stop.
And of course, the most upsetting part of that draw, if you like, up in the North East was the fact that Rob Atkinson sadly has been announced that he's picked up an ACL injury, which is a real shame. He's going to be out for the remainder of the season now. But an opportunity for Thomas Callis, but we are looking a bit light in that position.
We are. I feel for the big man first and foremost. We bumped into him in the training ground there through the week, and yeah, it hurts because he's been in a good position for us. He's been a real stalwart for us. So it is going to hurt him. All the players want to play full stop, but it's even worse. Being dropped is one thing, but to be taken out through injury and a long-term injury, it is harsh, especially when you've been in such a rich vein of form as well as an individual. So I really do feel for the big man.
Yeah, and of course, Bristol City have played so well since having 4 at the back rather than that back 5. I guess now you've got the players like Cam Pring and George Tanner that can fill into that right centre-back, left centre-back position. Having said that, you don't really want to steer away from what is potentially Bristol City's best formation at the moment.
Again, as we're talking off camera there, it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
So it's yes, we want to carry on, but sometimes players' availability dictate what you've got to do. At the end of the day, you want to get your best players on the pitch to perform to the best of their ability. So it might be a formation change, and all being, we'd like to stay where we are. Continuity is a big thing. I think that's a big proof that we've been seeing of late, that if you keep the continuity and get the results, momentum is evident. And I think you'll find that we're on the crest of a wave at the minute with a cracking run.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Swifty. Right, now it's time to get the all-important team news. Who might play themselves into contention for a starting spot in the FA Cup on Tuesday? It's the man that will be voicing the action this afternoon. It's Mr. Dan White.
Thank you very much, Toby. Yes, looking forward to this one on a bitterly cold day here at Ashton Gate. So let's have a look at today's starting lineups then. We'll start with Hull City. And they have made 3 changes to their side that drew 0-0 with Preston last week, with goalkeeper Carl Darlow making his first start of the season between the sticks, replacing Matt Ingram, who drops out of the squad entirely. The back 4 hasn't changed, as Jacob Greaves captains the side from left back. McLaughlin and Jones take the centre-back berths, and experienced Championship right-back Cyrus Christie could cause problems down the flank. Doherty and Simons will be in centre midfield, with Regan Slater and Ozan Tufan joining them just behind the front 2. Slater replaces Longman, who drops to the bench, and the final change sees Malcolm Ibiowe start up top with Colombian Estupinian. On the bench for Hull, the replacement keeper is Lo Tutala. Louis Coyle and Callum Elder provide defensive options. Tobias Figueiredo, Ryan Longman, Adama Traore and Benjamin Tete are on the bench. As for Bristol City, it's just the one change, and we all know who that is. It's enforced, as Rob Atkinson will sadly no longer play a part in the rest of this season, with a knee injury keeping him out of action for a while. However, where one star falls, there is another one waiting to shine. Thomas Callas is back in the starting lineup alongside Zach Viner, and the rest of the defence continues as they have done, with another long afternoon of running ahead for Tanner and Pring, I'm sure. James and Williams provide stability in the middle, with Alex Scott ahead of them. And then, as it was for Sunderland, it's Mehmeti, Bell and Sykes looking for goals. On the bench for City, it's Nikita Hykim, De Silva, fresh from winning City's first penalty for nearly 500 days last week, is on the bench alongside Cornick, Vyman and Wells, who provide plenty of goals this season. And then also looking there is Andy King, and Omar Taylor-Clark could get an opportunity later on as well. For now, though, it's time to hear from the gaffer. Nigel Pearson has been speaking to Robbins TV ahead of this one.
Nigel, one change today for the visit of Hull City. Thomas obviously comes in place of Rob. Good opportunity for Thomas in from the off.
Yeah, he's a good performer at this level, but of course he's been out for a while, so I think it will still take him a while to adjust to back-to-back games. But I've got every confidence in him. He's, like I say, he'll use his experience to negotiate games, and I'm sure he'll just keep things nice and simple, and that's what we'll need today. They're a decent side. They've had a good run themselves. We need to be at our best, as we do every time that we play. I mean, there's no getting away from that. Although we've had a decent run ourselves, that's been founded on hard work and a real commitment, and we can't afford to be anything less than 100%.
You touched on it there, it'll be a tough game. They're just above us in the table. Yeah, a win could take us above them. Yeah. I can imagine you want to see a lot of the fight and endeavour from your group as you did on the road at the Stadium of Light.
I want to see that, and I want to see us be creative as well. You know, the point last week at Sunderland was, there was some real hard work and a lot of character in there, but there was a lot of ability as well on show. And I want to see the same thing every time that we play. The players have been excellent they've been excellent most of the season, really, in my eyes, in terms of how they've applied themselves. But they are starting to reap the rewards of their hard work now, and I think that is something that they take a lot of credit for. And I want them just to feel the need and feel able to push on from us steadying the season somewhat with a good run. So now it's about, we need to get 3 points today.
The bench remains strong if you need to change it up to freshen things, but also Omar Taylor-Clark, an opportunity for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Omar's been training with us now for a long time, and he's had an opportunity against Swansea in the Cup and came on and got stuck in straight away. I don't have any doubts that he will be able to cope with the situation if needed. And look, it's just one of those where we know that we're going to have to lean on some more youngsters this season. But so what? I think they're good enough, and I think they've got good temperaments too. It always helps if they're going into a side that's feeling a bit better about themselves. It's hard for youngsters sometimes to go into a struggling side, but it's in our hands to keep our run going, but more importantly, it's in our hands now to push the season on, and that's what we need to do today. Today's a really big game for us, and it's important that we do everything we can to win.
Best of luck today, Nigel.
Yeah, cheers, thanks.
Nigel Pearson there with Robins TV, and it was mentioned just there, Bristol City fans headed to the North East last weekend, a bit deflated following cancelled travel plans, but they weren't defeated, and it was their loud voices echoing at the top tier of the Stadium of Light that saw Bristol City grab a point late into injury time, and they were scratching their eyes as well to be awarded a penalty. Here's all the best bits.
Off goes Mehmeti, lovely footwork from him. Now Bell pokes it through to Sykes, flick from Sykes. Could this be Mehmeti's first Bristol City goal? Off the post again, 2 in 2 games.
Brilliant
Inches
play.
away.
Brilliant play. Little link-ups, little combos. I think it was a decent save, to be fair. He's got down well. A little bit of creativity by Sykesy, cuts inside. Gets a good hand to it, to be fair. I was hoping it was going to hit the other post and go in, but no, it was really good.
It's well won back by Sykes. Scott spots the run from Bell. Can he find Mehmeti? Gets his mind in a twist, if anything. Sykes pulls it across. Nobody was there. Arriving at that far post.
I thought Sykesy might go on his own there, to be honest with you. I think he might have been surprised that he was onside. I think the right back was playing him on. I thought he could have drove in here, possibly had a shot.
But again, the visiting side looking the more likely of the two to break the deadlock. As Sunderland come forwards this time. Here's Clark up against Tanner. Has to keep concentration. Clark fires home. And the deadlock is broken. It's another goal this season for Jack Clark. 8 for him. And the Stadium of Light erupts. Bristol City far the greater side in this second half, but it's Sunderland that fire home first. Hard for Tanner to defend there, Ali.
Yeah, I think George, if he can show him outside, when he does come in, you hope the second defender comes across and helps you out.
Here's Alex Scott. Off goes Jada Silva, gets goal side. Can he find
Penalty,
the pass?
surely
A penalty.
Yes, it is.
And Bristol City's wait is over.
Brilliant.
Gavin Ward is the man to award it, and finally, they have their penalty. Sykes will be trusted with the all-important spot. No complaints there really from...
Definite play. Jada's brilliant to get the other side, and then there's the rugby tackle. Perfect.
Can Naki Wells bring Bristol City's long wait for a penalty and fire home to level the scores at the Stadium of Lights? Pressure moment. He fires home, and Bristol City could well have salvaged the point in the North East. Those 1,200 travelling fans go wild in the top tier at the Stadium of Lights. You can see what it means to the bench as well. And Naki Wells has double figures for the season. And in those big moments, it's the experience of Wells that counts the most.
Brilliant penalty, tucked it away, pace, power, bottom corner.
469 days we had to wait, but it finally came, and Naki Wells was the hero in the North East. Right, we'll be hearing from Max O'Leary shortly, but first it's time for a quick break.
So we've got all this outdoor space here, and it's perfect for companies to come in, whether they're small or large. So we cater for maybe a team of 12 or a team of 800. They can come here, have a really positive experience and be rewarded for all their hard work in the office or whatever industry they're from.
As we've got such a big company, a lot of us don't see each other.
Being able for the first time to get everyone out together in one place doing an activity together was great for team bonding and boosting that morale.
We can hone in on specific skills such as communication, leadership, teamwork, resilience. Here we've got a 400-metre military assault course, which is fantastic for team building. If you want a morale booster, this is the place to come.
Welcome back to Robins TV. Just under 15 minutes to go until kickoff. We'll be hearing from Max O'Leary shortly, and we'll also be reliving Bristol City's thumping win over Hull City last season as well. But if you hadn't noticed this week, Bristol City launched a partnership with our new kit suppliers, O'Neill's, and Neil Swift is kindly modelling the new polo training wear for us today here in the studio. The players will be draped in the new home kit today here at Ashton Gate. We wanted to show you a little bit more about our new partnership.
In Ireland, we have a passion for sport that runs deep in our veins. And for over 100 years, O'Neill's has been at the heart of that passion. Their sportswear has been worn by teams across the globe, but their roots have never left our shores. Now, O'Neill's is proud to partner with our family-owned club, Bristol City. A club with the determination to succeed, just like O'Neill's. At O'Neill's, every stage of garment manufacturing is controlled. From the knitting of yarn, cutting, sewing, printing, and embroidery. It's a process that has been perfected over decades. O'Neill's passion for sportswear is all-consuming, just like the passion our fans have for their club and community. That passion is what drives O'Neill's. That passion is what drives Bristol City. You see, both Bristol City and O'Neill's have deep roots in their communities, tracing their histories back for generations. These roots are more than just a source of pride. They're the foundation of who we are and what we stand for. Together, we can achieve anything.
A warm welcome to our new kit suppliers, O'Neill's. Neil, do you like the kit yourself?
Yeah, it fits well, doesn't it? Looks, yeah, nice.
Yeah, looking
nice
very
touch.
Very smart
very
indeed. Right, it's almost time for kick-off, but today we're also paying tribute here on Robins TV to former chairman and chief executive Colin Sexton, who very sadly passed away. It was announced today, and we just wanted to say our thoughts are with Colin's family, friends and former colleagues here, of course, at Bristol City Football Club. Right, more on the way, but Max O'Leary caught up with Dan White a couple of weeks ago. We've heard part 1 and part 2 here on Robins TV, but you wanted more, so here is part 3.
So Max, after all the loans, after all the maybe false dawns, does this feel then like this is Max O'Leary's time? What do you think?
Yeah, obviously it's a nice position to be in, and the gaffer always says the shirt's yours to lose, so at the moment it's mine, and I've got to try and keep a hold of it and do my best and play well. Yeah,
you are part of the academy crop that we've got coming through. Obviously you and Zach are a little bit older than the likes of Sam Bell, Tommy Conway, Alex Scott, but there's such a group of you coming through that have come from within. How does it feel to be part of that little crop there?
Yeah, no, it's obviously a great young group now. I think we've got a good mix of older, more experienced boys and young ones as well. So yeah, to have that talent on your doorstep is obviously a great thing for the club to have, and those boys getting the opportunities now and taking them as well is the main thing. Is really great. Obviously we've had more in the past. It was more than just me and Zach. Yeah. We've had Joe Morrell and other people who have moved on and gone to do great things. So yeah, I think the academy's done a great job, and they're obviously thriving at the moment, and having that infrastructure on your doorstep's great. Yeah, the conveyor belt just keeps on rolling, doesn't it, really? And I suppose that means maybe for you now at 27, you and Zach maybe are sort of mentors to these younger guys. Is that something that you sort of feel as well, as something that you can pass on your experience? Yeah, it's something we've been through, so yeah, we can say what we did in certain situations maybe to what's happened to them as well. So yeah, it's nice to try and help them a bit and give a bit of wisdom, although we still feel young. Yeah, yeah, you are young. Yeah, still young. Yeah, so trying to help those boys as much as we can is always nice. Now you are obviously a long way off retirement. I mean, a long way, especially as a goalkeeper. But yeah, is coaching something that you have already looked at, or is it something you think maybe when the playing stops you could look at potentially? Yeah, something I'd look at. Obviously, it's a long way away now, but you've got a plan, and yeah, it's something that I enjoy doing. I've done a few sessions with down at the academy. Haven't done one for a while, so I probably need to pop down. But, yeah, doing that sort of stuff, and I like doing the community stuff as well. So I've done a few pan disability sessions and gone down on an evening, which I really enjoy. They're good fun, and everyone's it's nice to put a smile on people's faces. You don't think it makes a difference, but it really does. Nice. Well, before we let you go, I've got some quick fire questions to throw your way just to wrap things up. So firstly, it comes in a pair here. The worst feeling you've had on a football pitch? Oh, probably losing that Liverpool game, because we ended up playing against quite a weakened side, I would say. So yeah, it's something we didn't jump on, and we ended up losing that one. Such a big occasion. Yeah, as well. And it was Chelsea next round as well, so we would have had two big ones. But yeah, sorry, that wasn't very quick fire. No, that's all right. That's fine. More detail the better. But in that case, best feeling you've had on a football pitch? At the moment, probably making my debut against Brentford. First full start. Obviously, coming on against West Brom was a big one. They were in the Prem at the time. And that was in the FA Cup as well, so that was a big one. But the first start, I knew I was playing. My family got to come down, so yeah, that was great. Arguably a bigger moment for your family. That and really, we won. Yeah, and we won as well. Yeah. Now take us inside the dressing room then. So worst trim? Oh, worst trim, Sykesy. Really? Sorry, yeah, sorry. Yeah. Bad. What's so bad about Sykesy's? No, it's just. Better not talk about it. Okay, yes. Oh, sorry, Sykesy. Yeah. And also the song that you listen to before you go out on a match day. What songs are you putting on in the dressing room? Well, we started having a bit of Bristol music, so yeah, a bit of Wurzels before the game as we're getting in, and then Andy Vyman's the DJ pre-game, so we had the same music for a few months. So he started to change it up a bit actually. Okay. So yeah, he's good. I like to get on if we win. For a few victory tunes. Nice. Yeah. What are you putting on if there's a victory? Oh, we got a few different ones. Just what have we gone for? A bit last. Boys like that one. We've had it on a few nights out, so yeah. Nice. Yeah. Love it. Okay, and finally, this is a big question. Nahki Wells or Erling Haaland? Oh, I've got to go with my golf buddy, Nahki. Nice, yeah. Of course, Nahki. He's definitely better at golf than him, so he's got to be better at football as well. We'd all pick Nahki Wells. Yeah. Listen, Max, it's been great to speak to you. Great to get an insight into your life and your career. So no worries. Good to speak to you. Cheers, thank you. Mate. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers.
Bristol City's main man between the sticks there, Max O'Leary with Dan White. A reminder, if you are overseas today and watching on Robins TV and YouTube and Facebook, you can still download your matchday pass for the full game commentary on Robins TV today. But if you are watching on YouTube and Facebook, it's now time for us to say goodbye.